Hello and welcome to this demo of Claude Code creating a YouTube thumbnail. Claude Code is not necessarily the best designer, and neither am I, but we've been working together on an app that gives Claude access to a design canvas and also allows me to make manual edits for some good agent-human collaboration. And we've done some training sessions to make Claude a little bit better. I'm going to jump in and give a prompt to Claude, let Claude get started, and we'll talk through how this works. So first up, I'm telling Claude you're creating a thumbnail. That is to get it to flip out of software development mode and then into thumbnail mode. I've told it the project that we're working on, and then I've given a prompt. Say, Claude Code created this thumbnail, generate a cool computer background, add a gray overlay. It's supposed to say overlay, not overall, and then make the text multicolored. So what we have going on here is behind the scenes, this app is connected to an MCP server. That MCP server exposes a number of tools that Claude can use. In particular, one of them is generating a background image. So this uses Imagine from, Nano Banana. It uses Nano Banana from Gemini. It also has a number of tools for inspecting the current version of the current state of the current version of the thumbnail, and then adding and editing layers. So here we can see that we've now generated a background. Claude has added that overlay, and then now Claude is editing that multi-layered text, multicolored text that I asked for. Now it looks pretty ugly, in particular because I gave Claude these horrible instructions. Nobody would make a design that looks like this, and the background is a little bit gaudy. So Claude has taken this first pass. I'm going to provide a second prompt here that says, can you delete all that text and make it just a single centered text that says Claude Code one-shot this thumbnail? Just a little bit of a fib. And then we are also going to improve the background image, make it a little bit more soothing and a little bit less like, hacker movie vibes. So Claude can also delete layers, as we are seeing, and it is deleting the content that it no longer needs, and then we'll create that text. Zooming out a little bit, what this project was for creating creative assets for the First Loop YouTube channel. I'm not a thumbnail designer. This is not something I'm particularly good at. Claude is a little bit better, but Claude's getting better a lot faster. I also wanted to understand what does it take to get Claude to be able to do creative pursuits like this. What's the process for training an agent? And for training a Claude Code agent in particular. Cool. So we have some decent content here. The one thing I want to show here is if we can exit this preview, and then we'll get back to talking about Claude, how to train Claude. Is we can edit this. So I can move this text around. I can click save, and now Claude's going to be working with that. We can export this image, and this Claude Code generated image is now available for us here. The last thing is we're going to try adding the Claude Code logo. So I'm giving Claude Code another image asset to add onto the canvas. I just want to highlight that the background image is not just a single background image. We can actually layer any number of images on. We just use the background image as a kind of a nice starting point. So Claude originally could not edit to quite this capability, so that image is a little small. Oh God. We might just have to redo that one. All right. So the Claude Code logo we're going to have to adjust. The last thing I want to cover here is that we have Claude, it has this app, it's able to edit the thumbnails. The question is how do we improve Claude's ability to create these thumbnails? I have a custom slash command called start training session. And the way we improve Claude at this is we go through a training session. We open it up. I'll just show the training session slash command is we ask Claude to acknowledge us in a training session. We're going to work on creating a thumbnail together, document all of your actions in a logs file, document learnings in this learnings file, and then tell me if you have, if there's tools that you need or tools that are missing, if there's actions that you took, and how you thought about it. And so as we are going through creating a sample, Claude will then create this list of learnings. It'll create this extensive logs file that just documents its entire actions through the process. Once we're done creating that thumbnail, then I can tell Claude to distill all this information that's recorded, update the Claude.md with the insights that you have available. So here at the bottom of this Claude.md, I'm not going to go through all of them, but it talks about how to use the coordinate system, camera angles, background, text effects, essentially everything that will provide feedback on. Claude is able to close the loop and integrate into its own system prompt how to incorporate that feedback. Now, this Claude Code is a little out of the aspect ratio. That's probably something that I will want to manually do myself. And this text is probably not quite right. We're gonna have to iterate through the, the hook there a number of times still. But in a 5-minute video, I was able to go from 0 to having at least a basic thumbnail, and it could have been faster if I gave Claude the correct and entire prompt up front as well. Claude's able to do the entire thumbnail in one go, and then I can come in, review, provide feedback, or do any manual edits to finish out the process. Thank you very much. That is Claude Code creating a thumbnail. Have a good day.